Right.
What was that, Jesse?
I said, all right.
It didn't sound like you did.
Really? What did it sound like I said? Because I definitely said all right.
No, like a dying slug.
Something dying this morning.
Wow.
You haven't just got out of bed, Jesse, have you, by any chance?
I definitely have not. I've been awake for hours.
Yeah.
You mean I'm not the one that was actually got up early this morning? Like,
Oh, no.
everybody sent Foxy message. I was like, "Is there a podcast today?" He's like, "Yeah, in an hour." And I'm like, "This is weird. I'm early. That doesn't happen."
Yeah, you're early, Jess is late, and I'm right on time as usual. Isn't this wonderful?
We're so good at this.
Hello,
I guess that's why you're
another...
here every week.
I'm trying to do the intro here. Jeez.
Sorry.
Hello and welcome to another unofficial Minecraft Update podcast. This is episode 45. And it's going to probably be quite a long one because we've got a lot of feedback, a lot of Bugdate, a lot of wish list, a lot of questions, and a whole bunch of news. But before we get to any of that, we've got a lot of this week. I think we've all had quite the week. Starting with Jesse B. Why don't you start us off?
This week, I started off bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and then my car wouldn't start. And I was like, okay, that's fun. Because we only have one car in my house now. And I was like, that's great. So had to pay to get a new battery. And then they were like, do you know that your car has some recalls? And I was like, no, I didn't know that. So
that must have been awkward because if you've got one car in your house, how do you get it out to take it to the garage?
Jeez.
You've either got really big doors or really small car.
Yeah, but both.
Right. Go on, carry on.
So had to pay for those issues. That was really annoying. And then for some reason, my brain was like, you don't need to teach your kid. And I completely did not do homeschooling with Ethan for like 2 weeks.
Jesse B.
So me and Ethan, we played a lot of catch up because he has a meeting today with his teacher to go over everything he's done in the past 3 weeks. And by 3 weeks, we mean literally a few days.
Wow.
So that's been fun. And then Pokemon has taken up a lot of my time.
That's why I've not been doing any homeschooling, really.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Me, him, and his dad have been just like invested in Pokemon. And I've been irritated because I don't know if you guys care about Pokemon, don't know if you know about Pokemon, but like you can get shiny Pokemon and it's kind of something that I do all the time. Every single game, I love it. This game I've gotten 1, the Hubs has gotten like 8. And it makes me very angry and I'm like competitive. And so that's been fun. And it's been keeping me away from the editing my videos. So that has, I'm behind. I'm behind in the editing. I've been recording. So I have like 4 or 5 episodes already recorded ahead of time. I'm doing good in that front, but I haven't been editing them.
So when you've written on your this week lots of editing, what you meant is should have done lots of editing but haven't actually done any.
Yes.
Or any homeschooling or anything really because of Pokemon. Right.
It's been a problem.
Well, I want to talk to you in quite some detail about Pokemon, as we like to do on the Minecraft Update podcast, but we're going to wait until Slack has had his chance to tell us all about his week.
Oh, my week. Well, both of you all know that Jen's over here for a couple of weeks right now.
Yes.
And, well, last week, I didn't make it to the podcast.
Really?
Surprise, surprise. Yeah, surprise, surprise for anybody that didn't know it. Because we were experiencing car trouble here at the house.
Really?
So, yeah, I went and picked up Jen the other day. My car's had some issues for a while, and it's just been kind of parked with not knowing what was wrong with it. And so I've been using a family member's car. Well, suddenly the steering started acting weird on it. Very weird. There was a loud pop, so you would think maybe the power steering pump's going out. Something's going wrong with the whole front end of the thing. there needed to be trips need to be made. We got to get back to the airport. We've got baby appointments, and we got all these appointments and life things going on, and families got doctor appointments and stuff. So we got to take the car up there and get it looked at. So we took it up there, and the main car that we had was a Chevy Cobalt. And I learned an interesting fact that thing does not have no power steering pump on it. It's all electrical. Very interesting. But
that's not what went pop then.
Yeah, not then. There's a little bit more to this story, but that was what was going wrong, and it's going to be about $2,000 to replace it. Oof. So we're like, yeah, we ain't got that much money right now. We got some money, but not that much for that. Mm-hmm. So the guy's like, well, take it home, park it. He said it could go out in 2 minutes. It could go out in 5 years. There's no way of knowing. So we decided we bring it back home. So we brought it back home, and the next day I took my car up there to try to figure out what was wrong with it, because I was told that my car, the rear wheel bearings were going out from the person I got it from. Turns out it was just some tires. That's it. The tires had been on that thing since 2014.
Right. Okay.
So they replaced the tires, realigned it, had to have batteries, had to have this, had a lot of minor things, but I wanted to make sure the car was up to date, considering I'm driving around Jen, who's pregnant,
Yeah.
So let's cover the car issues first. So the Cobalt was now brought back home and parked. Well, my mom the other day decided that she was going to go to my aunt's. And I was like, take my car. I use your car when my car was tore up. You use mine. It doesn't bother me. No. I'm going to take my car. On the way back from my aunt's, the steering column locked up and she wrecked it.
Oh,
geez. Oh my gosh.
Now, I am a firm believer in some things happen for a reason. And I don't mean it in a bad way. But had she not went to my aunt's that day, and we told her not to use the car, and had we not got my car fixed, that trip then would have been me and Jen going to the doctor's office for the baby scan.
Jeez. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's scary.
Mm-hmm. So that car is pretty much messed up. Judd's battery's going out on his vehicle. That's her boyfriend. But my car is now fixed, which led us up to going to the baby scan yesterday. Which was, I know both of you all have kids. This is going to be my first, and it's, long story short, it's a boy.
Oh, congrats!
And it's the most overwhelming feeling that I can't put into words. I guess you all understand being a parent.
Oh yeah.
Like when Jen told me she was pregnant, I got hit with this wave of reality. And I don't know how to describe it other than the things that mattered didn't matter no more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, I had that same wave hit me again. It's just like certain things
these are baby waves. You wait until he's born, because all of these little bits of feels massive to you right now, like life-changing stuff, but it's nothing, honestly. When the baby's born, those come in one big tidal wave, and you're just like, right, that's it, life change. This is the most important thing. I must protect it. I must look after it. Everything else can go do one. This is it now. So
it's so weird. It's like the things that used to just utterly break me, and now if something goes wrong and there's nothing I can do about it, there's nothing I can do about it. I got other things to do. It's an interesting experience, but we're happy about that.
It's amazing. There's a saying, right, that a mom becomes a mom the minute she finds out she's pregnant. Like a man becomes a dad the second he sees his kid. And I feel like now there's this like interesting thing because they have like those 3D scans, right?
Oh, that's what we got.
And yeah those are with the hubs, the first time he saw Ethan, he was like, whoa, like just, like life changed. It was different. But the first time he saw Evie with that like 3D scan, he was like, done, like life over, like this is it, like that's my kid. And it's so cool. It's so cool what you can see these days.
Yeah. Well, I just sent you a picture there.
Oh, and baby.
It's only 16 weeks right now. And technically they recommend, 23 plus weeks because the baby doesn't have no fat or nothing. But this is might be our only chance to go to a scan together, with her living in the UK, us going through the visa process. So we opted to get that done. And she started off doing the regular, ultrasound to get the baby's gender. And then when she flipped over to the 3D, it's just like, whoa. You can see so much. It's amazing. It is.
That's
absolutely
really
amazing.
cool. I'm so happy for you too.
I am too. But other than that, there's not been a lot going on because with her being over here, we're trying to limit our work time as much as possible. So like if one of us is working, then the other one's working, but that's it. There's no other Minecraft. So I might have a backlog of stuff as well that needs to be edited. I've got like 7 Slackville episodes, and Watchful, I'm pretty sure, has got 15 episodes of TB to edit.
Jeez.
Because we wanted to make sure we had content in advance.
Yeah. Well, that's some content in advance. Jeez.
Well,
man.
So I got content. It just needs to be edited, but life's good. Life's good. Life's good. Aside from us having car issues. What about you, Foxy?
Oh, man. Well, believe it or not, this week I've had car troubles. But not quite in the same lane. Oh, this week has been absolutely incredible. Where do I start? I'll start with the car. So I basically traded my car in for an older, with more miles on car that I liked more. And they, first of all, came to drop off the new car and pick mine up on the wrong day. And the problem was mine was still in the garage getting fixed after an accident I had like back in May, because they didn't get me booked in until November. So I couldn't, obviously, I didn't have the car for them to take back. So that really irritated the person that had driven all the way over to me to do it. But I did, we had booked it in for the 28th, which was the day my car was due back. Then when my car came back, I suddenly had this panic that I needed to make sure it was all clean and nice and perfect in order to, because it's getting traded in, but they don't actually... They'll give you a quote for it and you send them all the details and the photos, but they don't actually pay out until they've got the car back. And I was like, I need to make sure it's perfect. So when it gets back, they're not going to turn around and dock me some money. So I went to town, fixing paint scratches on it, little tiny things, cleaning it up, hoovering it. And then I went to pick Oliver up from school in it, and the engine management light came on. And I'm like, no! This was the Friday evening the day I picked it up. And it was due to go Monday. And the garage that had been working on it don't open at the weekends. So I had Oliver in the car. We rushed straight back to the garage. I'm like, hey, look, I've just picked this up this morning and the engine management light's on. This is no good. What's going on? So the guy put it on his scanning machine, and it turned out it's just because it's been sat for ages and not run properly for a while. So he's just like, oh, clear the fault code, go take it for a long run up the motorway and come back and it'll be fine. And it was. It's been fine since. So panic over with that one. They came and swapped it. But that's just a minor part of my week. My week... I want to talk to you about Pokemon, Jesse. But before we get to that, I found myself at the bottom of so many different rabbit holes at this particular moment in time. I don't know if there's any part of me that's not down one at the moment. As a result of that, I don't have any videos recorded. I don't have any videos to edit, but I have a list longer than I've ever had before of things I'm in the middle of doing that I keep putting to the side to start other things. And this started... Do you remember last week's podcast, Jesse? I started in my week saying that the night before I'd gone to bed and I couldn't sleep because it suddenly occurred to me that I wanted to figure out how Mr. Arm's MC Launcher actually downloaded the version files. Okay. This is the beginning of the rabbit hole. I spent a good 3, maybe 4 days solid working out, figuring it all out, to the point where I understand it now. I understand exactly how he's getting that information, how it all works. And as a result, I've been able to adapt that into a way that's not programmed in C++ like he uses for his version switcher, but into ways that I use for mine. So I could either do it online through a website or I could do it through my version switcher. But then it occurred to me, should I be enabling people to download Minecraft versions? Because it's a bit of a weird grey area. They are the legitimate versions from Microsoft directly, which, after doing all of this digging and research, it turns out you don't even need to have a Microsoft account or a login to a store to validate that you own them. You can just, they're available publicly. Anyone can just, as long as you can get the link, you can go and get it. And Microsoft you request that link, and Microsoft will give you it with an anonymous security token, basically. They're not hidden. Whereas the betas previously were. You needed to have an authorized, basically, certificate to say that you owned that copy or you were part of that insider program. So, because they are technically publicly available, although very well hidden from the public, that's sort of like, I can understand why Mr. Arm hasn't got a problem on his software allowing you to download them, but I'm still like, should I enable this? So while I was thinking about it, I plumbed this whole new ideal into my version switcher and got it all working so that you could just pick any Minecraft version, click play, and it would download it if you didn't have it, and it worked, albeit quite messily. But I haven't uploaded it yet because I can't decide whether or not I should be doing that or I shouldn't, because it's not illegal, but I don't know where it lies with Mojang and Microsoft. But then I decided that actually, because it's a bit messy, I was going to spend some time actually making the whole thing loads better, which I got quite a long way into before another problem reared its head up, and this is rabbit hole number 2. So I got an email from our podcasting service, the Spreaker people, to say, you've run out of storage space, you need to upgrade your account. So at the moment, we're already paying $80 a year for them to basically host the files that we've got and to publish our content through other people. And they want $20 a month for the next level up, which I don't want to pay, because that's a lot of money, considering we're earning $1 an hour between us from this podcast. I don't think we can incur any more costs like that. So I thought, what if we host it ourselves? So I've spent yesterday, today, and a bit of the day before frantically researching all about self-hosting podcasts and all the things you need to do, to the point where I've now developed a system that will generate all of the files and stuff that it needs, but there's no easy way for me to edit them for new episodes yet, which obviously I'm going to need if we're going to do this. And so in order to do that, we're going to need to actually have a decent podcast website as well. So and then the third rabbit hole that I fell down this week was that my FoxyNoTail.com website keeps, for whatever reason, I can't figure it out, occasionally, and it's totally random, it'll just lock up, and it doesn't shut the server down, it just locks up and no one can get on it. And I'm sick of this happening. So while I was working out this podcast stuff, I decided I was going to host it on something called Google Cloud Hosting, which is, they've basically got this file space thing. It's almost like Google Drive, but it's a private thing, but you can share the files individually without having to muck about with Google Drives and accounts and all that sort of stuff. And while I was playing with that for the podcast, I realized that Google seemed to have a better offer than Amazon, who I'm currently hosting through, for the website, and a simpler system. So I decided to move all of my websites over to them, only to find that after doing that, it's still just randomly hanging and I don't get it. So that was like 2 days time pretty much wasted. But yeah, so at the end of all that, I have that the website buildery app thing I was building last week is still no further along. My version switcher is half done. The podcast system is about a quarter done, and my website is still playing up. So, but at least I got a new cat, right? Oh, geez. Yeah. So, anyway, Pokemon. Pokemon, Jessie B.
Yes.
After our discussion last week, and then after our podcast, we went into further discussion about Pokemon, and you told me it's the best thing in the world, and I should definitely buy it.
I mean, sure.
I went to Tesco because they often have games in that's way cheaper than buying them online, and there were 2 that I saw. I thought I'll get one for Oliver's Christmas present, which was Sonic Frontiers, and I'll get Pokemon for me. And Sonic Frontiers was £50 in there, which I think on the Nintendo store it's more than that. And Pokemon was 42, which again in the Nintendo store it's 59.99, something crazy like that. Anyway,
yeah, it is.
So I took them to the till, and they, for whatever reason, they knocked like 25 quid off for both of them. So I ended up buying them for like £34 each or something, which was amazing. So that was good. Got it home, put Pokemon in, and I played it that night until I got to the school. And then a couple of days later, I put a few more hours in, and I went through the school section, and I went out of the school, and I'm into the first area, and I went and did my first badge. I went and took on my first gym. And I don't like it.
What? Really?
It's just totally boring. It's totally boring. There is nothing in it other than battling, and the battle system is boring. It's not exciting. It's slow and it's cumbersome. There's nothing interesting or exciting at all in this whole game. The world is ugly. The people that you meet are annoying. There's nothing good about it.
Hit the floor, Jesse. Are you okay?
The Pokemon Legends, as much as the story, I enjoyed the storyline of it, but the talking drove me nuts, and having to keep going back to base camp drove me nuts. There was a lot more to that game than there is to this Pokemon, like crafting and getting items and building your own Pokeballs and stuff like that, which was really enjoyable. This is just, you walk around, you bump into a Pokemon, you're in a battle, you either catch it, defeat it, or run away, and it's just rinse, repeat constantly. And that's all there is. There's nothing else. And it's boring because the battles they're so slow. They're so unbelievably drawn out and try to make dramatic in the most pointless of ways. Like, your Pokemon's running out of health, so you go, I'll switch it out. And 20 minutes later, after it says you threw your Pokemon, your guy actually throws your Pokemon out. And then you've got all these animations. And then they've got this like terrestrialize thing or whatever it is, where your Pokemon goes all shiny. And every single time you do that, you've got to go through the animation of him throwing the ball and the thing turning to a new one. And it's just forever. It's forever. And you're like fighting a twig. And this twig's got 0 health, but it takes 20 minutes because they've just made such a song and dance about all of the wrong things. And it's just Nintendo all over. It drives me mad.
See, I turn off battle animations.
Is there an option for that?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And I don't do the terrestrialized thing. But that's crazy as you say that, because I really like the story. Like, there's
no story.
There is. You maybe just haven't run into it, but there's like the star bases that I was really enjoying because like there's a story there, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then there's the gyms, and then there's also the cool like different Pokemon that you like. There's like these big, huge Pokemon.
Yeah, the
like,
Titan things.
The Titans are cool. I like the Titans.
You go to the school, right? You
you
attend the class.
Worst. Yeah.
Then it's like, you can go to a maths class, you can do this. I didn't get any of those options because as soon as you've gone in your class, this girl takes you to your bedroom, which I thought, it's good. And then it just went, skip to like a million nights. It's like, you're all finished school now, you can go on adventure. Well, where's the story in that? Off you go, do what you want. No, I don't want to. I want you to tell me, where's my list of jobs?
Build a job board.
Well, I've run out of Pokeballs. Yeah. How do I get more? You got to go find a shop. But okay. The shops are awful. You walk to a door and it goes black, and then you go through like a million bits of text you don't need to end up deciding that they don't actually sell what you want to buy. It's awful.
The balls are at the Pokemart, which is by the place where you heal.
Big colourful buildings.
No.
I know you can get.
It's just there.
Yeah.
It's like the only place.
It's rubbish, Jesse.
I'm enjoying it.
It's not difficult. Obviously, it's a kid's game at the end of the day. I have never. It's like Pokemon Legends. I played that whole way through and never lost a battle.
Yeah.
And there's no reward, and there's never a feeling like, oh no, I want my Pokemon to be able to actually die, so I'm worried about losing them. And I want, when I win, to actually get something other than just another stupid Pokemon that I got to sit through 20 minutes of animations for them to go into the Pokedex or decide, do I want to keep it in my bag? I don't care. And I don't want to bump into a Pokemon and start a battle, you know?
Yeah.
And why can't I throw a Pokeball like I could in Legends and catch them without having to go through the battle?
Yeah, that would be nice. I would like that.
And why can't I craft Poke? There was Ace. Then you could get Feather Balls and Heavy. That was dead good. That was loads better.
But can you buy a lot of this stuff via microtransaction?
No. And that,
I thought maybe they had a system.
there's such a build-up for the big Pokemon that you get that's like a motorbike, right? There's such a massive build-up for that, right from the beginning when you start, and you get so excited to finally be able to use it. And when you go on it, it's slower than running. Yeah, what's the point? What's the point in this giant Pokemon that you can't move without bumping into another one on? So you're just constantly accidentally going into battles slower than you would if you were running. It's, yeah. And last thing. So you're at the school, and when you go off, basically there's two characters. One asks you to go and get all the Titan things, and the other one, who's like an actual nice person, tells you to go off and do all of the get your badges or go and defeat the gyms. You feel like you've got a choice of play styles there. Like, oh, there's some there's an interest. You haven't. It's battles. It's just, it doesn't matter which one you go down. All you're doing is battling. They make out there's a big deal between different types of Pokemon trainers. No, there isn't. It's just battles or nothing. And that's all it is. There's nothing else in it. And it's janky and it's ugly and it doesn't work.
This is why I stick to Minecraft and shooters. Yep.
So I want to keep playing it because I really enjoyed Legends, but I've left it for like 4 days because I just don't. There's no drive to go back to it. Oh, go to another gym and
this is exactly what happened to me. What was that game that you enjoyed that we both bought that I absolutely hated? The one where you went around swords and fought bosses and everything.
Oh, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yes.
Elden Ring was
great.
Elden Ring.
Rubbish game, rubbish. Rubbish.
Elden Ring had fear and excitement and genuine...
Fear because every boss would look at you and just kill you.
Yeah. But that doesn't happen in Pokemon. Everything that you come across, it's just like, oh, that was easy, or, oh, it's way too more powerful than I am, I'll just have to run away. It's...
I would like an indicator with that. Elden Ring didn't have that. It was like, oh, look, this boss is only 2 foot tall. Oh, he one hit me and took my health into 3 lives ahead of me, you know?
Yeah, but you get past that stage and you learn the areas which are actually suited to you.
Never did. I feel like that was a game that I bought that was just completely wasted. And I didn't buy it just for me. I bought it for Jen, too. So it's like $200 down the garbage. Yeah.
Oh, well, on that total disappointment, I guess we should probably go to the feedback and see what everyone else thinks of Pokemon.
I thought we were doing a Minecraft update today.
I think eventually.
Did I get here on the wrong day? Is this the Pokemon update?
Cat Boss says, hello, podcast crew. I noticed you told me that I didn't specify much about the black holes with the ender crystals. First, it causes spiders to run towards it only, but other mobs will still be flung if they touch it. Secondly, I found this bug out when I was making a player launcher. This bug was on Bedrock Edition. When I was trying to answer the question, spiders not to go run to large groups of entities in one block. Right. The player does not get flung either unless, of course, you punch the ender crystals. I have not installed any add-ons at this time, so that's not the problem. Lastly, the spiders will only take damage when touching the ender crystals. I forgot to mention that in part of the Bugdate. Even after the spiders are nearly dead, they still keep running to that spot with the ender crystals. Thank you for not questioning why I have pets in creative mode. Cat Boss died to wondering what happens if you punch 100 ender crystals. It wasn't here last week.
Slack me.
Slack.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Cat Boss, he had this amazing, absolutely amazing Bugdate, my favourite one ever, where they basically said, you know when you just put like several hundred ender crystals on one block and spiders come running to it? And we're like, what? So yeah, apparently if you do that, spiders go running towards it, take damage, and then get just flung all over the place. So
I didn't know about that with spiders running to it. Never noticed that before, but I know you can get several 100,000 blocks up if you do probably, I think it's close to 700 or so. And then you punch and you have a totem and you go straight up like a rocket. It's fun.
Yeah.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to kill a lot of ghasts.
Details. There's these things called farms, Foxy, that we used to build together all the time. Just
Yeah, well,
saying.
you didn't turn up on Friday, so I ain't got an episode now, so your fault.
Well, I'll be there this Friday, okay? Okay? Don't you get all sassy with me.
I won't be there this Friday because it's my dad's 70th birthday, so I got to go to his house
I
for
love
lunch.
this. We're both like, there's going to be more collabs this season. Yeah, every week. We got one in. TB's been up for, a month now? We're doing good. We're doing real good.
Jeez. Oh, man. Right, moving on.
The Big Blue Frog here says, love the podcast, but for balance, I need the withering effect to get a British host whose mispronunciation of inventory like my favorite Minecraft podcast. I'm so confused.
So the Withering Effect is another Minecraft podcast. And I believe it must be by British people that mispronounce the word inventory. Not like me. I say it correctly. But there are lots of ways to pronounce inventory. Inventory. And everybody says it wrong except for me. And that's how you say it.
I'm trying to goad him into it, and he's just refusing.
If I go to Google and say, hang on a minute, typed Google into Google, that was clever. Pronounce.
But you're on the British Google, though, so it's going to be
yes,
different.
So that'd be correct.
Well, that's a matter of opinion there.
Inventory. Ha! Inventory. That's what it said.
Aluminum.
Right. Quick, Jesse, get us out of here.
Faded Daddy-O says, hello, Foxy, Slack, and Jesse. In regards to the preview versus the old beta method, I'm guessing there are indeed more people testing and filing bugs. Wow, I can read. I'm on
You want to try
iPad.
again?
Yeah, a little bit. I was just going to keep going. Okay. Hello, Foxy, Slack, and Jesse. In regards to the preview versus the old beta method, I'm guessing there are indeed more people testing and filing bugs. I'm on iPad most of the time, and we didn't have the ability to beta test. Also, wasn't it difficult going back and forth to the beta on your PC? Still enjoying the podcast very much. Keep up the good work, Faded Daddy-O. Dado. That says Dado.
It does, doesn't it? He's missed the Y out. Jeez. Can't even spell your own name, Faded Daddy-O, and you expect us to give any credit to this stupid piece of feedback? Ridiculous.
Just rubbish. Rubbish. Just ban them.
Right, okay. Let me respond to this. I'm sure there probably are more people like actually filling out bugs on the Jira, and Mojang have been really pushing it. People like Silent Whisper and other content creators have been pushing people to do that with their videos and things like that. So I'm sure there are more. But what we were getting at is that the sorts of people that would take time out of their lives to actually use the betas for that instead of just to play with the new stuff are the sorts of people that would have already had access to those systems. So it's not really. I don't think with them making the preview and the ability to do the preview on iPad now and stuff like that has really generated a great deal more people percentage-wise that are filling in those things than they were, because I think the sorts of people that do that were the sorts of people that would make the effort to get those early versions previously. And it was a pain. It was an absolute pain getting hold of the beta, and it was an absolute pain getting in and out of it. But people did. So I think, yeah. What do you think, guys?
I didn't like the previous version of the system, but we did find some interesting bugs.
Yeah, but do you think people are filling out more bug reports now that the preview is easily accessible than they were before?
No, I don't think so.
They're just using it to play Minecraft, to get the new features and explore the game.
Yep, that's it. It's easier snapshot versions for Bedrock. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. nobody's going to play it. You don't get me wrong. I'm sure somebody's going to reply, actually cracking their knuckles right now. Let me tell you, Mr. Lizard, you're one of a few that do. Most people don't care. They're just going to keep playing the normal game and hope somebody else does it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, we do. We even do this podcast where we go through the Bugdate. We never put any of them in the Jira. You know.
Yeah. Well, how many times have you all sat and streamed? You all sat and streamed before, and somebody come in and complain about a bug, and you talk about the bug with them for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, here, let me get you the bug report so you can go upvote it. No, I ain't got time for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had the time to sit and complain for 20, 30 minutes about it, but you can't go, oh, I have to create an account. I can't do this anonymously. No, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It takes too long. It's too complicated. It's too much effort. Even if they made it loads easier, it would still be the same. You've got to action something rather than just moan about it, and that's just human nature.
I'm telling you right now, if you could file the bug report from inside the game, it still wouldn't work.
No, unless there was literally a click button to log the last 5 minutes and just send it off without me having to do anything else.
Yeah.
It was already there on your screen, not in a menu, because if it was a menu, you wouldn't do it, but it literally was there on the screen as a button. You just click the button, just send that off. I don't let someone else deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. But most things going to want to deal with, oh my God, there's 1,700 new 5-minute videos today.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, because then you'd be getting everybody that doesn't really know the game going, why is this door flapping open when it's next to this redstone thing? Right, that's a bug. Send that off. Yeah, jeez. Right, next message, Slack. Apparently it's you again.
Oh, it's like...
Get the brain with me out.
No,
how
you're
do you
the
say
next
that?
one.
Is this M2 Lanky?
Yeah.
M2 Lanky.
Lansky.
Hey, Land Sky. What about Land Sky? Is that like a land boat? Anyways, I want to say that after a week full of work, a moment that brings me happiness is to see that the Spotify feed that a new Minecraft Update podcast was released. Thank you for your good work. Love you guys.
Well, that's good news. However, if I manage to completely mess up what I'm planning on doing to host the podcast, it won't be there anymore. So,
oh no!
Fingers crossed it will. I wanted to talk. Well, we'll do it after the feedback, but there's more that I wanted to talk about that I should have done in this week's section. But to be honest, it makes more sense to do it after the feedback. So we'll do it after the feedback, before the news. Jeez, right? Remind me because I'll forget. Right, yeah. Dirty McGrassblock says, hey, Foxy Jesse in the Slack. I recently found your podcast and I'm really enjoying it. As a developer, my favourite part is listening to FoxyNoTail dive deep into the technical aspects of Minecraft. He's inspired me to try and develop my own add-on packs. I love the banter of the hosts and I can tell it must be a lot of fun. Please keep up the good work. It is a lot of fun, unless you have to do all the admin. But apart from that, it's great. This bit's great.
I find it pretty easy, don't you, Jesse?
I'm enjoying it.
All I got to do is come here and just talk to my friends for a couple hours a week. That's it.
Well, good news, peeps. If all goes to plan and I don't end up down 3 new rabbit holes next week, the new system that I'm building for this podcast will have logins for you both, so you can pull your weight a bit more. Jeez.
Excuse me?
Yay.
No, I can't be bothered to do that if it requires me to log in. I'm not making
Slack's got to log all the bug reports for all the bug dates we get.
Bye.
Yeah. I don't want podcast. I don't remember being on podcast. Wow.
Good talk.
And Jesse's got to keep a track of the good ideas.
Hey, Jesse,
great.
what Brood have to say?
Brood says, hi guys, last week you read an idea of mine about a trainer whistle. Maybe I had misunderstood, but the additional durability producing a new whistle part was in response to a comment in the previous pod where it was mentioned that you can spam the dash because the fish has no durability.
I think you've a little bit misunderstood there, Brood. In fact, I was halfway through writing a response to you in the Discord when I remembered that I'm supposed to respond to you in the podcast. So the durability of the item, or the lack of, makes no difference to how quickly you can make the dolphins dash. The dolphins, as soon as you click dash, it will have a speed boost for 5 seconds, and as soon as that speed boost is over, you'll be able to reactivate it again using the item. regardless of whether the item has this durability or not, doesn't change that or the speed or anything like that. The advantage of using an item with durability is that once the durability has run out, you lose it so that it's not too cheaty that you can just permanently have speed boost. You know, because all you have to do is hold one fish currently and you've got speed boost for life. Whereas ideally I wanted it to cost one fish per speed boost, but there's no way of getting it to take a fish off you as soon as you've used it. So that's why we came up with the idea of a fish on a stick, because we could give that durability, and then once we've lost it, then you would need to put a new fish on your fishing rod in order to create a new fish on the stick, which would help that process, or it would actually fix that process. So, yeah, then just being given a brand new one because it's run out would void the point, which is what I was trying to explain last week.
Yes.
Yes. Benji says, "Hi, everyone. I'm catching up on the podcast, so I'm behind, but I had to say something about the camels regenerating. I do agree that it's kind of lazy that they heal on their own, but you guys didn't mention horses, so I thought I'd let you know. You guys are so amazing and so glad I have something else to watch on YouTube." What about horses? You said you didn't mention the horses, so I thought I would let you know, but you didn't let us know, Benji. Do horses naturally regenerate as well?
Don't think so.
I didn't think so.
No.
Maybe they do.
Yeah, if they do, that's interesting.
No, because you got to feed them hay bales.
Yeah.
Or is that just to make them breed?
I think that's just to make them breed. But
Hay
no,
bales, I use
no.
apples.
Yeah, because, you're right. Breeding is golden apples or golden carrots, right?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So horses... Hang on, I'm going to take a slight diversion and look at the horse files now. Jeez. One moment, please, peeps. We need answers to these questions. I'm just going to my behaviour packs. Oh, geez, hang on a minute. One moment, please. Your call is important to us.
What is it? It's a do right?
Right. I don't want horse baby. I don't want horse adult. I don't want horse wild. Don't want horse tamed, maybe infantry breedable. Yeah. They can be bred with golden capels, enchanted golden apples, and golden carrots. They can be tempted with golden apples, enchanted golden arrows, and golden carrots. But is there anywhere where it says healable? Because I thought you could give a horse a hay bale. Healable: wheat, sugar, hay, apple, golden carrot, golden apple, apple enchanted. So no, they don't naturally heal. No. So either Benji's saying we're right, they're being lazy because their horse can be healed with items, or is wrong and thinks that the horse naturally regenerates too. Let us know, Benji, because we don't know.
Maybe in peaceful.
No. Why would that make any difference in peaceful?
Why does anything make difference in peaceful? We heal in peaceful. We heal in peaceful. I'm just saying.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Okay, Slack. Next question.
Next question from JW5. Hi, all. Please don't change. I love your honesty and sarcastic approaches. Really? I mean, really? I can't wait for the podcast to drop and brighten up my day because Foxy is just such a ray of sunshine. I mean,
it doesn't say that. But it does say about can't wait for the podcast to drop, but it doesn't mention that I'm a ray of sunshine at all. But we're not going to change. We are who we are. Change is hard. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't because I'm lazy.
FoxyNoTail. Yep.
Yeah, that's me. That's Mr. Foxy SunnyTail to you. Sunshine.
Sunshine. See? Jeez. You're embracing it.
Okay, right. It would technically be time to go into news, but I want to mention what I was going to mention, and I haven't forgotten. And that was, if we're going to self-host our podcast and have a snazzy new website with all of the nice things on it, we're not going to be getting the ads at the beginning or end of our podcast anymore because that's what Spreaker does. So we will effectively be earning even less than $1 between us an hour
for Patreon.
The 2 hours that we're... Yes, that's what I'm going to say. So this week, should I not end up down 3 new rabbit holes and still be continuing my course towards the success of the podcast, then I will be opening up a podcast Patreon this week. assuming that Jesse and Slack are okay with that.
No, definitely. Gosh, how dare.
How dare, right?
Yeah, how dare.
Right. I mean, you should invest your hundreds of dollars that you make per video on YouTube into it, like that one guy. Remember, really wants to be a YouTuber.
That's a good idea.
Because you make thousands of dollars per video, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Tens of thousands normally, but yeah, I don't want to waste any of my money. So yeah, my problem is, and this is why I wanted to talk about it rather than just announce it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to ask people to join the Patreon and donate, which obviously that's the whole point of it. And yes, I do want you to do that, but for nothing.
Yeah.
And normally Patreon have different tiers, and you get different things and different perks. And sometimes those perks involve, the hosts ending up having to do extra work and things like that. And I don't know if anyone's noticed. But sometimes it's difficult trying to get us all in the same place at the same time each week, let alone doing extra things as well.
Yeah.
So we need to put our heads together, not just us, but all of you lovely people that have joined our Discord as well. Put our heads together and come up with some things that you think are valid, viable things that we could do for the different tiers so that we can have not just one tier with nothing in it. So it would be nice to do an extra sort of smaller podcast every month, just like a mini podcast, maybe an hour that we do monthly on a wider subject, or maybe the Pokemon podcast or something like that, or whatever's trending at the time. But I'm sure there are other things that we can come up with that don't involve us having to spend many, many, many more hours trying to fill our time with things to make our patrons happy. And that sounds like totally the wrong attitude, but the reality of it is it's hard enough finding time to squeeze all these things in as well. But this is starting to become quite the cost, and we need help.
Look, the best thing about that is ask the audience what they think it's worth too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally agree. I mean, what would you expect? If there was a $5 tier that you wanted to throw at just to help the podcast, sure. $10 tier, should I offer something else? 15? I don't even know if those are going to be the tiers. I'm just speaking out loud here. You don't know. It's like, What do you think it's worth? Are you just doing it for the support? Because I know we all have them. I have patrons that I've never met, never joined my Discord, never commented. And it's so weird, but not everybody wants a reward for their support, I guess.
No, exactly. So yeah, let us know what you think in the Discord on that one. If you want to put that either in the feedback or the general discussion, and we'll see what you guys come up with. But yeah, that's on this week's list of many, many, many things to do. Speaking of many, many, many things, oh my goodness, it's the news, and there are many, many, many things.
News for what game?
Pokemon, of course. It's Pokemon news. Pokemon Java Edition 1.19.3 pre-release 3 came out this week, Slack, and you won't believe all of the things in it.
Hold on, let me click it so I can believe it. Hold on.
Yeah, they fixed the Pokemon fighting animations. They've taken away everybody's text now, so you don't have to listen to anybody. Oh, Jesse, right?
Oh, no.
I did that first gym. The lady that was the gym person that you had to fight was like a baker or something. Mm-hmm. She told me a life story. I don't care. I beat the battle fair and square, dead easy, and then she rambled on for like 10 pages about cakes and buns. I don't care. I can't even go and get them because this is a game. You're just a character. I just won. Give me my prize and go away. Anyway.
Yes.
Minecraft Java Edition pre-release 3. There is absolutely nothing worth talking about in this update. It's just a whole bunch of bug fixes. And as you know, I'm too lazy to read out bug fixes. So if you want to find out what bugs have been fixed, you better check out the changelog that is linked in the description below. Because I'm not telling you.
Right. So let's
just too lazy. So news item 1 complete. News item number 2. There has been a new preview. Minecraft preview 1.19.60.20. Mr. Lizard and Jesse B, I hope you're paying attention. Because this is things in it we've never seen before. like mob heads on note blocks, and a piglin mob head, and bamboo, and chisel bookshelves, and hanging signs, and camels.
Huh.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely all new, exciting things.
It's all the stuff that we've seen and read out in, I think, the Java Edition preview snapshotty things are now on Bedrock. Pretty much. I'm sure there will be some differences. One noticeable difference is the chisel bookshelf still can't be interacted with on individual slots yet by the sounds of things, but otherwise it seems pretty much on par with what Java Edition has. And good news, everybody. Baby camels are now slightly smaller, so that's good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There are, again, more parity with Java Edition. We have more spawn eggs on Bedrock Edition in this preview. There are Ender Dragon and Wither Mob spawn eggs, which you can only get in commands in creative mode. And there are now Iron Golem and Snow Golem spawn eggs in the creative inventory. However, they've had to change the colour of Polar Bear spawn eggs because they're the same colour as Snow Golem spawn eggs, or one or the other. So that's good. Good news for people that play on mobile, peeps. You'll never guess what it is.
What happened?
The game won't go to your phone, your Android phone, won't just fall asleep while you're playing Minecraft anymore.
That seems too simple.
Did it do that before?
Yes.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, you couldn't AFK.
Yeah, if you will leave your screen for like 2 minutes, you're automatic like, oh, you've not touched your phone for 2 minutes. I'm turning the screen off, kicks in, and then you just get kicked out of your game.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah. So they've fixed it, which is nice.
That's good.
Yeah. About time. Jeez. Pick blocks have been improved. If you now pick on fern or grass, it will select the create. It will select the create item.
Nice. I like that create item.
Yeah. If you pick block acacia or dark oak leaves, they will now give you the correct item instead. So that's nice. What else we got in here? Changing how bamboo grows. Apparently, on Bedrock Edition, when you place bamboo, you could keep clicking on that bottom piece of bamboo, a bit like scaffolding, and the bamboo would continue to grow upwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've taken it away.
Oh.
Ooh, so you can only place it on top of each other now, which sucks.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah. Mobs will now pass through wither roses, which is nice. And when you TP with a bunch of leash mobs, something else happens now compared to how it happened before. But I can't find it in the actual changelog, and I didn't write enough information in the notes.
Nice, okay.
Good talk.
Yeah. Tropical,
that's it right there.
Tropical fish. Oh, geez. Tropical fish will no longer use the surface density limit when spawning underground. But as far as I was aware, fish can spawn underground. Oh, no, they will, don't they?
Yeah.
They spawn where
Yeah.
axolotls do. Okay. So they use the cave density cap now instead of surface. So that's good, I guess. Villagers, they have discovered health and safety finally. Fireworks safety. They will no longer just set off loads of fireworks when they're celebrating with a glass roof like directly above their head. They will check now. And they will go outside. So that's good news.
Villagers can mess with fireworks? What?
Yeah. Apparently, when you do a raid in a village and you win, the villagers will celebrate by setting off fireworks. But on Bedrock Edition, when they do it, they will do it inside. If there is a non-full block, like a slab or a stair, which is pretty much what villager houses are made out of, or glass or something like that, they would just set off the fireworks, which means they would all blow themselves up.
Yep.
Which is lovely. But they don't do that now because they got smarter.
Well, that's good.
Yes. Hooks. I can't speak today. Husks can now fit in a 2-block high place, and baby hooks, jeez, can fit in a 1-block high space. We got all the breaking news for you today, peeps. This is good news. Good news for you, Jersey B. I know you like mud and things outside. Pumpkins and melons will now grow on mycelium and moss.
Oh, I actually like that. That's great. That's good.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's even better is beacon and conduit particles are now transparent. Which is kind of how they are from a distance anyway, because you can't see them.
Yeah.
But I think it means semi-transparent, because making them transparent would just completely get rid of them. So I'm assuming that's what it means.
Yes.
Well, okay then.
Yes. Now, there is some interesting information. There's loads of stuff in this. There's absolutely tons, and I'm not reading it all because I'm way too lazy and it'd take too long. But there is some stuff with the API system. So the systems that allow you to literally write code for Bedrock Edition and like an add-on, but without like the normal stuff, you can actually write your own code. A little bit like modding. It's been in the game a while. It's had some real big overhauls recently. And one of the things they've added, somebody actually messaged me about it, or messaged one of my admins about it to say, can I change my Chuck add-on pack to use this? Because I don't know if either of you are aware of my Chuck add-on pack, but I made a pack because I was sick of people asking me in my game how I got Chuck there doing all this fishing and stuff like that and AFKing. So I made a pack which basically was he can sleep through the night for you to save you having to sleep. He'll load chunks, although he's not a player, so mobs won't spawn around him, and he'll do a bunch of other stuff as well. And somebody messaged one of my admins saying, now that we've got a simulated player function, can Chuck become one of those so that we can actually spawn mobs around him? And I don't know is the answer, but apparently they went to the trouble of actually fiddling with the code themselves and kind of making it work, although I haven't checked it yet. So, yeah, there is an ability now with all of these things to simulate a player, which I guess is good for testing things, but also potentially good for Chuck. So I thought I'd add that in because it was rather interesting, something unusual. And then I'm going to move on.
All right.
So I like that.
You know how... Oh, go on, Slack.
Well, I like that because if that works, then you can test your farms and go into spectator mode and have a simulated player loading them. Yeah.
Yeah, very handy.
You don't need multiple accounts to test. Yeah.
If one of them out, you could make an avatars pack, but just have one avatar, and it was just a simulated player, and just go spawn it somewhere and see what happens. It's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about from this changelog is that previously, one of the updates recently, we got the block geometry stuff coming out of experimental, some of the bits, and in this particular preview, they will be releasing selection boxes, which are not advent calendars, sadly. They are, or, chocolates or biscuit boxes. They are the ability to actually click on the block that's the right size for the block geometry that you've made, and you can give the blocks a custom name without having to write the name in the language file. So that's really exciting.
Cheaty. Fancy.
Yes. And that's it for that changelog. The next piece of news, Minecraft Bedrock Edition 1.19.50 stable release dropped this week, and it is probably one of the most significant changes to Minecraft Bedrock Edition ever. There is so much in this changelog that I have hardly written anything down because we've been going on about it for the last month in the podcast, talking about all of the beta things. But just as a quick recap, spectator mode is now fully functional out of spectator mode. Out of experimental mode, which means anybody could be a spectator. Unfortunately, I still won't be using it in my camera add-on, although I keep getting messages about this because spectators can't run functions or use items. So if the camera goes into spectator, they can't get back out again without using commands, and that means everyone in your world would have to have access to cheats, which is not a good idea. So, yes, spectators. The new touch control system is enabled by default, and there are whispers going around suggesting that this is a step towards offhand in Minecraft, because it is a much cleaner and simpler interface with space for many, many more features. The new default skins have arrived, much to Slack's dismay. We had a quick chat about this before the podcast, didn't we, Slack? And Slack slammed his hands on the table, threw his computer on the floor and said, I can't even with Mojang right now. What are they doing? What was your problem, Slack? Explain it to me.
I mean, this is one of those new things that they're advertising for the next big update.
Yes, 1.20, this is... oh, yeah.
Yeah. 1.19. It's out now, but it was something that was part of Minecon for our next future update. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's getting pushed out now.
Yes,
so does that mean we're going to get camels in 1.19.60?
It was one of the very, very few things that they announced for Minecraft 1.19.20, and one of the key features towards their supposed theme that they didn't really tell us much about or give a name to, but they decided to give us it early, which is nice. I'm glad they've done that, but it does mean that 1.20's got about 25% less stuff in it. There's another thing I'll pick up on this as well. Because I could have sworn someone told me, and I think you even mentioned it on the podcast, that one of the new skin. Oh no, it's all right. I found it. I was going to say one of the new skin characters had a I can't think of the word now. Prosthetic arm, and I was scanning that earlier, and I was like, I can't see which one it is, but I've just zoomed into it now, and it's quite clearly the first one on the left, known as Sunny. So I'll shut up. Right. Okay, moving on. The Vex has been updated. Obviously, we've talked about that in the previews. The Vex now looks more like an Allay and has nicer graphics and looks all quite cute, although they're still very deadly, so avoid them at all costs. And structure blocks now have an import feature on Windows. So whereas before, if you wanted to use a structure from one world to another, you would have to export that structure, create a structures add-on, which is just like an add-on with a folder called structures in it, and put the structure in there and able to import that to a new world. Whereas now there's just an import button on the structure block that allows you to import any file that's a structure file, which is amazing.
That's
so that
great.
will save a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, that's I can grab my farm from one world and put it on my actual test world. Yep.
Yeah. See, I just have my structures add-on just on my test world. That way, it doesn't matter what world I'm in. I just export a structure straight into that add-on, and because it's in development behavior packs rather than the behavior packs, it refreshes every time you load Minecraft, or every time you load the world. So effectively, that's been even easier for me than having to worry about this. But I know for a lot of people, that's not a simple thing to do. So this is a good thing. It's a very good thing. There are many new things. So this is where it gets a bit complicated, because we've already got them, but because this is a stable release, they've been announced as features. So all of the experimental features for Minecraft 1.20 are now in the experimental features for 1.19.50 because it's a stable release. This is the first stable release, effectively, that's had those things in, if that makes sense. So that's why they're in the changelog. But it's the same stuff that we've had in 1.19.50 in the previews. Jeez, does that make any sense?
Yes.
Good.
It does. And all the experimental things are the things. Oh, I'm telling you, 1.60. Yep. We're going to get all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. The new execute command. The old one is gone, new one is in. However, if you are worried about it changing all of your packs and things, it is backwards compatible with the old one, providing that you set your world or the behavior pack that's running on it to a 1.19.40 or below pack. So I don't know if that works or not. I'm hoping it does, because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of changing all of my add-ons this week as well. So yeah. And that's that. I mean, I say that's about it. It's not about it. There's millions. There's so much ridiculous stuff in there. If you just, in case you're impressed in seeing a lot of writing on one place, then check out the changelog. But you could. I think it's like you said, you even took the time to read this earlier, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I went through it last night. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like so many things. Dirt and path and farmland collisions are now 1 pixel lower again. Just saying. So sand and mud blocks you now sink in again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's been on and off. That's like, to not sound really old, it's like Ross and Rachel, isn't it? It's been on again, off again since for the last year, it feels like. So I'm fully expecting the next preview in 1.60 to be like, oh, we've turned that off again.
Oh, my favorite bug. I learned about this one here a while back that they fixed. If you had an entity at 000, you couldn't put pressure plates anywhere in your world.
Yeah, that's fixed. Yeah,
good. Yeah. Because I always go to 000 and put a mob there.
Yeah, it's very easy to do that because there's no bedrock there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there isn't now, is there? There used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
No, jeez. So actually it's quite easy to do. Jeez. It was me trying to be smart and being a complete idiot. That sums me up pretty much. Sunshiny idiot.
Oh, you can now rebind the copy coordinates key. Yep.
Oh,
if you're
good.
If you're using full keyboard and mouse, you can copy.
I'm just going to have mine as the sprint button.
Oh,
that sounds so good.
Every time I sprint, I copy my coordinates. It'd be good. I like it.
You can copy your coordinates into the command blocks and stuff now, too. It's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and you get that like, ding, ding, annoying little pop-up at the top of the screen every time you do it.
Everything's fun. Everything's fun.
Do we have to? What are you going to do next? Give me a Pokemon animation? Make me wait 20 minutes before I can move again? Stop it.
They'll force you to go through a Minecraft character animation of them, like, opening the command block and looking under it. And
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine
you see them
that?
get a keyboard and start typing.
Every time you went to click on a command block, there'd be like a cutscene where you're like a third-person view of your character, like looking at it really confused and poking at it and things before they figure out how to open it. That lasts about 5 to 10 seconds every single time. That is Pokemon. That's exactly what it is. There is no, oh, they've done that once, so we don't need to show me it again. It is every single time. I don't get it. I don't get why these games like this has been a problem for years, and every other type of game developer has realized that people's time is valuable, right? There aren't any other games other than Nintendo games that have complete disregard for your time. They go, how can we improve a player's, they care like engagement. They want more people to, Nintendo don't. They must be so like comfortable with just how much money they're getting in that they don't need to like be like, we don't need to improve this at all. We'll just keep doing the same old. And I just don't get it. I got to say, I got no patience. None. Jeez. Right, anyway, speaking of things that's bugging me, it's time to go into the Bugdate and find out what's bugging you. Jessie B, what's bugging you? Your attitude towards Pokemon. For a start.
Definitely. That's it. That's the one. I haven't really come across many.
You haven't been playing any Minecraft, Jessie, let's be honest.
Hey,
You've been playing too much Pokemon.
Wow. I have been streaming and I have been recording. And I
just not editing.
Just not editing, yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you can't think of a Minecraft bug, tell me your most annoying Pokemon bug.
My most annoying Pokemon bug right now is when you're in the stupid Terra raids and it says like, oh, you've defeated this, but then you have to wait like 80 minutes just to like have it actually be defeated. That's really irritating.
Yeah. And that's them. They're the glowy rocks that you just stumble into. Yeah, I stumbled into one of them. I was like, oh, what's that? 30 minutes later, I was like, I got a new character. They seemed quite difficult to beat. I'll add that to my team. It's useless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally useless.
That's
what about you, Slack? What is your worst Pokemon bug?
The one where the gas AI gets really laggy when it can't shoot at you. Yeah.
Oh, is that still in the game? They're not fixed that yet?
Yeah, no, it's on the game. It's just
That's very weird, isn't it?
Gas sees you, you go hide, suddenly your game's the equivalent of 1 frame a second. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice bug.
Wow. Good. Excellent.
What about you? What's your Pokemon bug of the week? Is it the one where you have to watch through the animation?
No, that's not a bug. That's a feature. That's the problem, Slack.
I don't know. It's a feature that you can turn off, according to Jesse.
We complain on Bedrock Edition about how things did unrender from a relatively short distance. Pokemon doesn't do that, Slack. It renders it, but it renders them at 1 frame a second. So you'll be standing about 3 feet away from a character that is jerking across the screen like they were a stop motion. It's awful. And then you'll be standing next to some terrain, and the side of the terrain just start like almost as if it's psychedelically like warping and moving and changing, and it's really good. Works perfectly as intended. Jeez. Don't play Pokemon, it's rubbish.
No intention to. Just saying.
Let's find out from our community what's been bugging them. I don't believe there's any Pokemon bugs in here, but if anyone's got any for next week, then feel free to drop them in, because it would be interesting to make Jessie B feel even worse about spending her entire life playing it at the moment. Right. Starting with Diablo. Love the podcast. Keep up the great work. I found a weird bug that I wanted to share and looked through some of the chat history to make sure I wasn't telling you something that somebody already posted or got bored reading. So here it is. When placing a block with a different placeable positions, i.e. a barrel, which is how I found this, by the way, at the location is in front of you and one block above your head and you stand too close to it, oh my goodness, i.e. standing on the very edge of the block you are standing on, it will place a block in a different position than how you intended to place it. I was trying to place a barrel facing out and it kept facing down. It's almost like you are clicking the top face of the block under your intended location from underneath it. Does this make any sense to anyone? At first, I was somehow actually checking that the block... At first, I thought I was somehow actually clicking that block, so I removed the block below my intended placement location, and it does the exact same thing. Drove me nuts while placing a ton of barrels for storage. Can someone decipher that for me? Because I butchered it, and I have no idea what they mean.
Okay,
I'm rereading it now, and I don't get it either.
I get it because I had this bug the other day.
Okay.
Can you explain it to me?
I was building a sugarcane farm, of all things. And I placed in the dirt, put the sugarcane, put the light block, put the piston, and went to place the observer on top of it, right? That's the next thing for the old classic. Everybody knows how to build that. And every time I placed the observer, looking dead forward, even if I put a block there, it would turn sideways.
Huh.
I could look directly at a piece of glass and be like, I want this observer's face going directly right there. And when I would place it, it would go sideways every time. Every time. Because technically my character's hitbox was too close to the block in front of it. So I had to back up. I had to actually dig out the wall and back up another block in order to place it and face it the right way.
Jeez. Well, that's annoying. Well, thank you, Diablo, for bringing that to our attention. If you've got a bug report number for that, please do drop it in the bug report section on the Discord so that we can attach that to the show notes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, Diablo even continues there. Just to clarify, when testing this, I made sure the back block is highlighted and no other location is still facing down. Yep, I had that same thing. It's really annoying. If you do got a bug report on that one, that would be handy to upvote.
Yeah. But they won't have, because now that the preview exists, no one does bug reports anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So Robo Rufus says, hello. So I was going back to the end islands. I have it set up so they're water that you can swim through to get to the portal block. So you don't need a pearl. Then I swim straight through the portal block and fall into the void and die. Lost all my diamond gear, hours of time lost. Okay. So what's the bug there? Doesn't seem like there's a bug.
Yeah, I don't see what the bug is because maybe they swam through it, because I know I can fly through them all the time and be fine. Mm-hmm. Maybe the swim animation actually puts your hitbox a block
lower.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, if you collide with it, it should teleport you.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, sorry, Robo. I don't understand.
More info, Robo, please.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you remember to make the wither farms, you used to just put a dispenser with a water bucket next to one of those and activate it, and it will get rid of those. I wonder if when he's placed the water, it's got rid of it and he's just swam through and
into the void.
out the other side.
Bye. I don't know. More info needed.
Yeah, tell us more, Rufus. Right. Maribel Jade, I've never heard of her, but she's obviously new here. Yeah. Saying, experience hub glitch. It's driving me bananas. I'm tired of relogging every 5 minutes to make that annoying flashing ball of light go away. It's especially annoying when looking down to place blocks and it keeps flashing in your face. And she's even attached a bug report because Maribel Jade knows how to do this properly. We could all learn from Maribel Jade. I don't even bother. I just think you got a little friend for 5 minutes until it goes away on its own.
Yeah. My pet orb. Yeah.
Yeah, I get bothered about a lot of things,
but not that.
But that's never bothered me. I got to say, sorry, Jade. Me and you a bit different on that one.
I mean, I kind of like when I fly into an area and all the experience that was in that area is up in the sky and then falls down again. I'm like, oh, I can go there and get that. That's free. That's free. That's free. Instead of just laying on the ground, I love that it gets put up in the sky and just falls every time. It's great.
Yeah, it's lovely. I like it.
Right. The Big Blue Frog says, I loaded up my Bedrock world and all my double chests had turned into 2 single side-by-side chests. Ooh. I closed it and restarted it and everything was fine. Freaked me out, though. Yeah, I've experienced that.
Yeah.
Oof.
That would be interesting. Would not like.
No. Oh, geez. Could you imagine? It's not like you're losing any of your items, but...
Yeah. Not walk into your storage room of 100.
Yeah.
There were 4,000 chests in there instead of 2. Oh, man. Jeez, that would be annoying.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, no. Just no. The Big Blue Frog also says, I'm sick of having to quit and restart Minecraft every time I switch
Don't
between...
do it then.
Nope.
Just don't stop quitting and restarting it, mate. Easy. Problem solved. Job done. Move.
Wow.
Sorry.
Every time I switch between apps on my iPad just to get the sound to come back on. It's been this way since 1.18 dropped. Even if all I do is close the app and then reopen it, the sound goes away. Bug tracker report is right here.
Thank you very much for the bug tracker report. Okay, so I think when it comes to mobile Minecraft, there's very much the understanding and intent from the developers that if you're playing Minecraft, you're playing Minecraft. And if you want to do something else, you're not playing Minecraft anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that, Minecraft logs you out your game and does all those other things. The fact that you can't switch back to it and have your sound, yeah, definitely a bug and very annoying. But it would be nice if there was some consideration from I know it must be a really difficult thing to do because effectively you're going into getting Minecraft to save its state and do multitasking and all that sort of stuff in order for you to multitask on your device. But it would be nice if they got to that point, even not just on there, but on Windows as well, so that when you're in your full screen and you click off it and you go back,
so
you've
annoying.
been booted.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, but why, it just minimizes. Why are you minimizing? No, why? Why you do this? So, yeah, that would be nice if those sorts of things got a little bit of love, but I imagine they're probably quite complicated to deal with. Jeez. Rick Hunter, 1990, says, is having the end background glitch where the void is black and white dots like white noise? Do you think a texture pack would fix it? My realm has it for a couple of weeks and I want to live in the end with a space theme. It's 100% possible to put your new background texture in the end, and I believe that probably will fix the problem. But it normally happens when you're using RTX, doesn't it?
It's an RTX pack that redoes it, yeah.
Yeah. So if you actually look at the proper end texture file, it is just lots and lots of tiny weeny little dots because it's supposed to look like noise. So it probably is like a white noise thing, but it's supposed to look like that rather than it looking like space or just be pitch black. And when you put RTX on, obviously it's doing something with that texture. It's like when you put night vision on in the end, it just really illuminates it and highlights it and looks awful. So, yeah, just put a different texture on and fingers crossed it'll fix it. But I don't know if it'll still fix it in RTX or not.
Mm-hmm.
Black.
It's like what? I don't... Oh
Last
God,
book
there's another page. I didn't see the other page. Right. Root 591 says, unlike logs and some other blocks, barrels do not care which face of a block you place them on. They get their orientation from which way the player is facing, just like droppers and dispensers. When you place one block higher than your head and one block forward, your player is looking upwards, and this causes the block to orient itself in a face downwards. It sounds like Brood was talking to Diablo.
It does, doesn't it? It's probably a response to that. So thank you very much for that, Brood. And Slack, you were probably right to have ignored that one. There was another, I thought it was in the Bugdate, but clearly not. But somebody mentioned that the new spectator mode that is now released officially in 1.19.50 in RTX doesn't work with RTX, Slack. And to which I thought, well, it won't. Because the way RTX works is it tries to simulate how light bounces off surfaces, and all the texturing does is it's mapping. It's telling that surface, is it a bumpy surface, is it a glossy surface, so it can tell the light how to travel. So it's literally what RTX is ray tracing. It's taking like a bunch of different pieces of light, right? And it's bouncing them around to see how they will get back to the player, so to see what the player sees. So it's realistic. If you're in spectator mode inside a block, the light can't get inside it. So it's probably going to look a bit weird.
They are giving no concern whatsoever to RTX. That hype train, that promotional deal is over.
Well, how could RTX work inside a block? It can't. There's no light. It would just be dark.
I know.
I know. Like, it's a game. They should do something about it. They should maybe turn RTX off when you're inside in the blocks or something like that. I don't know. But realistically, it would just go pitch black, right?
Yeah.
So, right. Okay, peeps, that is the end of the Bugdate, which means it is time to go rushing into the wish list and find out all of the things that we want added into Minecraft or removed, depending on your stance on these sorts of things. But before we do that, so Pokemon, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Pokemon wish list, here we go. You would like that ball that you could throw, right?
Yeah, well, I would like to know. I've been bashing on Pokemon all podcast, but I do want to say that there is one good thing about this Pokemon compared to Pokemon Legends. And I think this says a lot for how bad the game is.
Oh, Lord.
Because Pokemon Legends was not a very well done game, but it was enjoyable. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed getting to the end of it. I enjoyed doing that. But the thing I really disliked was filling out the Pokedex. I had no interest in doing that. I didn't like it when I liked having that list of side quests. I liked that. But I didn't like that we would get 27 different types of this Pokemon that only appears in the dark in this one remote corner of the map. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to do that. And I'm not interested in filling out the Pokedex. However, this new Pokemon, filling out the Pokedex, when you collect a Pokemon you haven't got before, as much as it going through all of that animation stuff is really annoying, they have actually laid it out in a nice way. So you get like a little book that slots into a bookshelf. And that's nice. And I'm like, oh, there's only one gap in between those ones. I wonder if I can get that one. So on one hand, I'm thinking, oh, filling out the Pokedex on this could probably be quite interesting. But I think that's honestly because there's nothing else of interest in the game to do. So, yeah, anyway. Wish list. Jesse, you don't want anything? No. Slag, what do you want?
No, not right now. No, good.
Okay. Well, I would like more time in general, because I haven't got any. I would like to be down less rabbit holes. Oh, and I'd like Pokemon to be better. Okay, good.
This is Minecraft wish list, not...
Oh, sorry.
I mean, if we got wishes, I got wishes.
I want to win the lottery. I want a new house.
Put that in the good ideas bin. Okay, me is John says, double length leads. When you have an allay or farm and want it to pick up all the items you drop, sometimes the drops are outside of reach of the allay if it's on a lead tied to a post, or even if you're holding the lead. I would like to be able to craft a double length lead to address this issue. Maybe the recipe could be 2 leads with the slime ball in between. Have you tried letting the allay off the lead and then putting it back on when you're finished? Or are you desperate for it to be stuck to a certain area?
Well,
Double length leads, I think in general would mean when you're trying to get a cow or a chicken or a sheep back somewhere, it's just going to be on the other side of the hill stuck. You know,
you're going to snap your lead more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think you could be constantly having to go back further to realize that the thing's stuck on something. I understand what you're saying here with the allay thing, and it would be nice to be able to put an allay in an area that you don't have to build walls around, so you could effectively let it loose on a longer leash. But I don't think overall a longer lead's a good idea unless it's tied to a grappling hook. So,
but you can't pull it out until after you've dodge rolled.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess
guys got no thoughts on this?
No?
I'm not really interested.
Bad idea.
Yeah,
bad idea. No. Disapprove.
Sorry, Miss John. No. It's been slammed down by the lizard. Not having it.
I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with Robo Rufus over here said, I wish the allay would teleport to you like a dog or a parrot does. It's annoying because I always travel with either a horse or a larcher, so it can't keep up. Oh, I've watched many of y'all on stream walk them things back thousands of blocks.
See, I would like that as well, but
I
that
would
wouldn't
too.
help with Elytra, Robo Rufus, because a dog will only teleport to you, or a parrot will only teleport to you if you're touching the ground.
Yeah.
So if you're flying away, you're going to unload the chunks that they're in, and then when you land on the ground again, you're going to be too far away. They're unloaded. They won't teleport to you. But I would genuinely like it if the LA would either follow you as fast as you could go, or teleport to you when you're on the ground. Yes, I think it's a good idea if it's
Yeah.
out of reach.
Agreed.
Yeah, if you hold specific item, Allay moves just as fast as you. Yep.
Or just give it the ability to detect when you're going fast and just speed up. How hard could that be?
It seems too simple.
Yeah. Good ideas, Ben. Rufus. Rufus.
Ruff, ruff, ruff. Oh, goodness.
good idea, Ben. The LA go really fast. Yeah, the good idea, Ben. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Cat Boss says, dirty hair. My one wish above all else would be for Mojang to utilize the remaining space within the painting's texture file. I'm not a fan of some of the current paintings, so I often retexture them. There's plenty of negative space to add more paintings, and I would love for some odd numbered paintings to match odd number walls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have anyone ever seen the painting's texture file? Half of it's
haven't.
blank.
Yeah, half of it's blank. Yeah.
And
Really?
you're like, why can't I put more paintings in there? Why?
That's annoying.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally agree with you, Cat Boss. Although I'm slightly concerned here because it says Cat Boss, but then they've put dirty here. So I'm wondering if Dirty McGrass thingy is Cat Boss, or I've done a copy paste mistake here.
Maybe.
Probably. Quite highly likely, to be honest with you. That could have been from Dirty McGrass Block, or Cat Boss could be Dirty McGrass Block, but we'll never know. It's like, what do you think about these paintings?
Yes. Good idea.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Wouldn't it be better? I like to adapt the good ideas before we put them straight in the bin, so I
Okay.
can come up with them as my good idea. If instead of having a picture that was the paintings all squished together, why don't we have a paintings folder, and however many paintings are in that folder, the game will realise, and then you can cycle through however many's in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
what if you crafted it with different types of sticks? Oh.
Different types of sticks,
Yeah.
or just different colours of wool.
Okay. Well, why don't you already use something in the game that makes more sense than me wanting dark oak sticks and acacia sticks and all this thing? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think something like that. So you could choose what painting you wanted and be able to have more paintings would be a great idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
it couldn't be no worse than needing to know your potion ingredients. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah. The thing
How
is,
hard could
like, retexturing paintings is great, and I've done it before, but the problem with that is then it retextures them for everybody. So if you go, you're on a server and you're playing in your base and you've got, pictures of FoxyNoTail everywhere, and you go to someone else's base, they've got pictures of FoxyNoTail everywhere as well on your screen, and it's just wrong. So I'd like the ability to be able to add custom paintings for sure. Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Next. Territe says, that good idea's been, by the way. An enchantment that lets you run faster, wall jump, wall run, maybe double jump, and maybe even dodge roll would be cool. Probably best as a leggings enchantment that conflicts with swift sneak. Right. I don't see the need to wall jump and wall run. Double jump, yes. I think there should definitely be a double jump enchantment. 100%, because parkour sucks. Running faster, I'd be happy with like a speed boost on some trousers. I mean, we get that on, Soul Sand with Soul Speed. So that would be good. And obviously dodge rolling, but I don't think that should be tied to your trousers. I just think that should just happen.
Foxy and his dodge roll.
What do you think, Slack? You're very quiet.
Is this an all or none kind of thing? Because
Take it apart, make your own.
Run faster. You already got beacons for that. I wouldn't mind a posting.
Yeah, but you can only run like for a second before you run out of beacons range.
Okay, so give us a potion that lasts like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 10.
We've got one called swiftness. Use sugar.
Well, I want it to last longer.
Oh, no, sorry.
Well, I don't see the point of wall run. Double jump, okay. I mean, you can kind of double jump with an elytra. You can jump up 2 blocks if you get it timed just right.
Yeah, it's not the same, though. You can, yeah, no.
No, I'm not sold on this idea, sorry. No. It's too much. It's messing with my head. It's too many things at once. If you came in here with one thing, maybe, but you threw like 6 things at me and it's just no.
Right. Next week, come back with just one for double jump. Okay? And then we'll get that in the good ideas bin. And then the next week, come back with a run faster one. Okay? And then get that in the good ideas bin. And then next week.
What was that?
Nothing, Slack.
Oh, no,
okay, moving on. Oh, it's your favourite person, Slack.
Oh, it's that Marabella Jade person. Yeah. Another wish from the littlest trolls to be able to ride the sniffer in the water the same way that you ride the strider in lava.
No,
but just ride a dolphin.
Dolphin.
Yeah, just ride a dolphin.
I think the sniffer, with it having that big square back, does lend itself to something. And I don't know if that's putting a chest on it or putting a saddle on it or what. But I'm assuming with their eggs being found under the water that they will be aquatic-ish type animals that they will go in the water. But maybe they won't. But yeah, I have no issue with being able to ride a sniffer in the water. We don't really have anything you can ride in water other than boats at the moment, and obviously dolphins on Truly Bedrock, do we?
No,
they're
not
going
really.
they're going to put it on the sniffer now to steal your ideal instead of putting it on the dolphin where it should have been.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's fine. I'd be happy with that. So yes, littlest troll, your wish is I'll give it to Jeff.
Oh God! Every time you get on the sniffer, the world crashes. Yep.
Yeah.
Faded Daddy-O says, I would like to resuggest the idea about putting item frames on hanging signs. When your items can be rotated. Then your items can be rotated. And what if the item frame is invisible?
No.
Sorry.
No, we solved this problem last week. We're just going to stick our item to the sign with magic glue, and it will just become an image on the sign. The problem with item frames is that they attach to the front of a block. Unless they're going to significantly change how item frames work, then if you try and put it on a hanging sign, there's going to be like a half block gap between the back of the item frame and the sign. So it's just, I think you're asking way too much in terms of development to put an item frame on a sign, where it would be much easier to go, if I click this sign with this item, it will show a picture of an apple or a stick or whatever. I think that's an actually achievable thing to do and an easier thing to do. So, and that's already in the good ideas bin. So.
Yeah, so this one doesn't go. Nope.
Sorry, Faded Daddy-O, but at least you spelled your name right this time, so good job. Cheese Doodles 99 says, hey Jesse, Slack and Foxy, I have an idea for chiseled bookcases. What if you could put 2 of them next to each other and they would combine like 2 chests, also giving double the space thanks to the amazing pod? Wait a minute, Cheese Doodles.
if you just put them side by side.
Cheese Doodles, if you put 2 if you put 2 bookcases side by side, they work like 2 bookcases side by side, and you can put double the books in and having double the space. There's no inventory on a bookcase, on a chisel bookcase. It doesn't open a UI. You just put your books in and pop your books out. They don't need to stick together. It just does the same thing. Sorry, that really made me giggle. Am I mean, Jesse?
Yes. Yes, you are mean.
It just really tickled me.
I get what you mean. It would be cool if like it changed the texture.
No different.
No,
why
if
would
it
it change the
changed-
texture to look exactly the same?
It would look cool if you put two bookshelves together and it took away that middle line and it made
that
it look
tiny little weeny border.
Hey, I like all little details. So I appreciate your comment, although
No,
yes,
if a
it
chisel
would
bookshelf-
be the same thing.
If a chisel bookshelf was smaller than a block, like a chest, I could understand, but it's not. It's a full block size, and that 1 pixel gap that you'd have down the middle between them both, or not even a gap, but 1 pixel line. No. I tell you what that is, and I know we can't have this on Bedrock Edition, but that's connected textures.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes, it is. I love connected textures. I would like
So play
that.
Java Edition.
Okay,
And then
I
you
will.
can have that all day long.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Truly Java.
Truly
What we should
Java
change-
incoming.
What we should change this to, Cheese Doodles 99, because I love connected textures, and it is annoying we can't have them in Bedrock. So let's change this to a wish for connected textures in Bedrock Edition. Okay,
Done.
and we can all put that in the good ideas bin,
yeah,
right?
I'm sold on changing it over to that. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for laughing, Cheese Doodles, but that really tickled
I
me
laughed too. It was
because it was. What if you put two pieces of stone next to each other and then you've got double stone? Wow, my goodness. Incredible. But if you only break half of it, one still stays there. Still, right? Yeah? Yeah. Like when you break a double chest, half the chest stays. Yeah. Oh, we could do this with all the blocks. Can you imagine it? Two pieces of grass next to each other. They were double grass.
I'm
What
so
about
done with you.
What about two shulkers side by side?
Now that I would be yeah. No, I'd have a double shulker. That make things with an inventory make sense because you're doubling the space that you're getting on screen for accessing the inventory. But when there's no inventory, it's just two blocks next to each other. That's why I'm laughing.
And it's not that we're wanting to change the blocks. We're wanting to have connected textures. That's more.
Yes.
I think that's really where that really went.
Cheese Doodles is a fantastic idea. You spelt it wrong. That's all. That's the only thing.
DJ Chris 2009 is back, y'all.
2009. He's 10 years older than he was.
2019. Sorry. Jeez, that one just disappeared there. Okay, it disappeared. Fired you are. What if wearing a mob head will disguise you? Here's how it would work. For instance, you
Yes,
put on a creeper head, and creepers will not notice you until you get about 5 blocks closer.
Yeah. And get rid of this stupid gold helmets and let's wear piglin heads in the nether. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm all over it like a rash. I want this. Yes. Instead of having a pumpkin, we have an Enderman head.
That would be kind of cool.
And if you were a wither skull, the wither skeletons don't notice you. Oh, that'd be great. Yes.
That would be brilliant. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Although I really like my helmet to be enchanted. I like giving up my pants over my helmet, so I don't know.
But the helmet enchantment is underwater enchantment, so you don't need those in the nether.
Doesn't matter. I still like having my helmet over my pants.
I like fire protection because the nether is full
But
of
they're
lava.
on your feet.
No,
On your trousers.
No, protection goes there.
No. Protection goes on your chest plate. You have fire protection on your feet. You have blast protection on your trousers and protection on your helmet.
Oh my God!
No, protection on your
Now I understand
helmet.
why you die so much.
Yeah, right?
Well, it doesn't make any difference. It makes no difference which one it goes on. That's just my order. I think fire protection on my feet because I always end up falling in the lava, so it's feet touching it first. I know it doesn't make any difference in game, but it makes sense to me in my head. I want full protection on my chest plate because that's covering my most important parts, and I want blast protection on my trousers for reasons. And projectile protection on your helmet because you don't get shot in the head, do you?
How about we just enchant the mob
if you
heads?
think about it.
How about we just enchant the mob heads?
No.
Then I don't like this idea.
If we can enchant it, I think no.
No.
Wow, you're so mean. This is the best idea ever. And you're like, come off it. All right, forget about it as that. Just the ability to be, please. You can keep your gold for the piglins as well, but I want this. Please. I need it.
Oh, it hurts.
Sorry, DJ Chris. Nope.
I think you just got vetoed. Whew.
I can't believe it, DJ Chris. I can't believe it. We offer them like the best idea in the world, and like, no, I'm all right. I'll stick with my gold trousers. Yeah, idiots. Who we're working with? I need new co-hosts.
Next week's podcast introducing
DJ Chris and cheese doodles. Jeez. Jesse, you're up next. My cheeks hurt.
Oh, it's DJ Chris.
Oh, gosh. Okay, hold on. DJ Chris here. Birch need to be prettier, and all trees need to have branches on them.
No.
Wow.
That was an anger veto right there.
No, I've scrunched that one up. It's gone through the shredder already. It's stupid. Nobody likes giant oak trees. Nobody likes having to deal with the branches in those. I do not want them on all trees. God. No. DJ Chess, you just went from best friend to nemesis. I'm sorry.
Could you imagine a 2x2 spruce that does the same thing as the equivalent of a giant oak?
I mean, more spruce for me. I'm here for it. Whew, that hurt so bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of behind this, DJ Chris. Yeah.
No.
See, I like birch. I have no problem with birch. I don't think it needs to be prettier. But
all trees growing bigger. I mean, just
I was just gonna say, but trees bigger. Yes,
I wouldn't mind 2x2 of like all of the trees. That's fine if it was a choice.
Yeah,
but I don't want to grow a birch tree and it turn into a giant birch tree like the oak trees do and have to deal with that.
Oh yeah, that's really
so
annoying. I agree.
But they'll only grow bigger if you're wearing a mob head that protects you from other creatures. Okay, deal.
No.
I don't know. Is that a wish list one that we're going to make trees? All trees could be double trees, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Done. I like it.
Modified, yeah.
Yeah, all right then. Which means our last wish list is from none other than Giga Chad, whose life is obviously not quite as amazing as we previously thought it was because there is something that he wishes for.
Oh.
And that is, I wish they added a gym to Minecraft. It would be cool if you could work out for maybe like a minute. And then you get like 5 minutes of strength to work out. You could just sit down at a bench press and spam click. If you work out for a little while, then you would have to hold the click button for at least a second. Giga Chad worked out too much and got too strong. Giga Chad, the last time he messaged in, I really enjoyed it, but I feel like
this is kind of like back to one of those early podcasts when somebody brought this up before.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I go for a walk and I come back and I get free items in my chest. No.
Yeah, that would be a hard pass for me, I think.
Yeah. No exercise, Giga Chad. Don't forget the podcast makes you stronger. You said that last time, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's the end of the wish list, and what an amazing time we had in there. Unfortunately, though, it's time for the questions, and we know how miserable that makes everybody.
Oh, there you go. Let's open this up. What do we got?
Me is John. Says, question for Foxy. I know you've been updating your schedule a bit lately. Have you factored your website of all greatestness into your spreadsheet? For Jesse B and Slack, what techniques do you use to determine your schedules? No, Mr. Spreadsheet doesn't like me fiddling with all of these rabbit holes that I've been down at the minute. So Mr. Spreadsheet, very unhappy, and I'm not prepared to change it because that means I won't go back to it again. So schedule is staying as it is. I'm just a bit off track slightly. What do you use for scheduling, Jesse, or do you not bother?
I try very hard to schedule things. I typically use the Google Sheets documents and stuff, and I try to get it all out and all figured. But I have little kids, so I don't have like big kids. I have little kids, so the schedule usually goes right out the window. So I try and I maintain as much as I can, but really, you get time with me when I can fit it in. So yeah, scheduling's not really something I'm great at right now.
No, join the club. Slack.
It is what it is.
You've been on and off schedules for years. I remember you saying, I've got a schedule, I've done this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to stick to this, it's going to be great. And then the next week, you're like, I hate schedules, schedules are stupid, they don't work, I'm not having a schedule. And then you'll be like, I've got a schedule again. So where are you currently on this roller coaster of schedulingness?
Right now, I'm on scheduling feels like a job, so I'm not doing it.
Right. There you go then.
Yep.
Good. Moving on.
The big blue frogs. That's the one, right? Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, this looks good. Jesse Slack and the British Minecraft podcaster who hates bundles, as opposed to
Yes.
the other British Minecraft podcaster who loves them.
Mm.
Are you aware of any streamers or YouTubers who make videos or streams using touch controllers on a mobile device?
No. Zap used to, didn't he?
That used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or was that, did he play on, no, he played on console but recorded it on his phone or something.
He played on console, uploaded it to Mixer, downloaded it to his phone, edited it, and voiced it over, and then put it on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, so no, he didn't even play. Yeah. The problem with streaming or making videos on your phone, and I have seen, like, I get sent quite a lot of links with videos to watch from fans and stuff over the years, and quite a lot of those have been recorded on mobiles and phones and things like that. There obviously are ways of screen recording what you're doing, but it doesn't lend itself to a very easy or good recording environment, and particularly for streaming as well. The streaming is quite an intensive task for your device to do, and Minecraft has only got more and more intensive as time's gone on. So even though better devices are out there to do those things with, it's not necessarily easy for those devices to keep up with it. So if you're going to stream, like legitimately stream, as opposed to doing like TikTok streams or something like that, if you're going to do proper like gaming streams, then I think most people would consider either investing in a cheap laptop at the very least, or some sort of PC system to do it on. So I think the sorts of people you'll see doing videos and streaming on mobile devices, and I'm not saying this is everybody, because I'm sure there will be people that do that professionally, but I think the majority of them will probably be younger people that just want to share the stuff they're playing Minecraft on rather than trying to take it particularly seriously. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, I feel like I'm putting mobile people down again, and that wasn't the point of that at all.
I don't think it's putting them down. I mean, anyone who can put in the time and the effort to try and make content from a phone or anything like that, it's impressive. But there are always going to be limitations. And sure, I've seen some things that are really good for what it is, but it's not quite the same. So I think the more serious someone gets about being a creator, the more serious they get about the investments. And it feels like a laptop is kind of like that first step, or if, I mean, you can, an old PC or whatever. It's just a natural progression, I think.
Yeah. I did get a comment once from somebody saying, why don't you record on mobile? It's much easier because all you have to do is screen record. Your phone's already got a microphone built in, and then you can just send it straight to YouTube. And to be fair, I mean, that didn't even consider any editing. There are a lot of video editors available for mobile devices now and tablets and things like that. and tablets you can use with wireless keyboards and mice. So there's realistically, there's no reason if you were into the mobile sort of ecosystem and you were good at that sort of thing, there's no reason you couldn't, without spending tons of money on a laptop or a PC, you couldn't create pretty good videos on an iPad or something like that, or a decent tablet, and use it almost as a sort of a laptop style PC thing and do that. But I don't know. I guess
this one. Can I interject here for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one here, this comment with what they're talking about, any streamers on a phone or YouTubers on a phone, it comes down to want, is what it really comes down to. If you want to do it, you will find a way to do it. Doesn't matter if you're doing it on the phone. Doesn't matter if you're doing it on a potato computer. Doesn't matter if you're doing it on 3G internet that you have to spend 12 and a half hours to upload a video. It comes down to want. We are the best at making excuses for ourselves on why we can't do something. How many times have you two sat in a stream and somebody come in, oh, I really want to start streaming, but I can't do it till I get this or I get that. No, you don't want to. You're looking for an excuse not to do it. Call me the bad guy here, but it's the truth. Because when you really want to do something, you will find a way to do something. Yeah. It's like your friend can be like, oh, my car's broke down. Can you help? No, I can't. Can you come help me change my brakes on my car? No, but I guarantee if it was your car outside and you had to change the brakes, you'd find a way to do it. You know what I mean? To me, and I'm not trying to be rude or hateful or anything like that, they exist. And if you want to do it, you will find a way to do it with no excuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm sure there are people out there that do it, but when the question was, are you aware of any?
Am I aware of any at this time? No, but well, it feels like they're asking it more as a question. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It does. That's how I read it. It was like, do you think it's something viable
can I do it? Do you know of other people that have done it and been successful at it? Is what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm sure there are,
it.
But they're not
Try
in my
it.
circle.
No.
Yeah.
But then I don't really watch a great deal of content creators other than the people I'm surrounded by, so I don't know. I'm probably not the best people.
And I'm not being rude, but like Foxy, you raid and run.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because watching streams is not your thing.
To stream. Yeah. And I got stuff to do. I don't know if I've mentioned all of the things that I've got going on in a minute. Actually, it's like, but I can give you a list if you want. You're not going to
sit and watch me play Minecraft hacks.
How dare you?
If I could sit, if I was doing something mundane, I could if I was just sitting playing Minecraft, I could sit with the stream open and listen to it or listen to a podcast.
You can't do
that.
But
when I'm coding, when I'm having to concentrate, when I'm learning things and doing stuff that involves brain capacity, I can't have someone in my ear rabbiting on because I can't concentrate. So it's just, that's my fault, my problem, but I'm aware of it.
So you're telling me you couldn't sit and listen to like AC/DC while you were streaming?
While I was streaming?
Yeah.
Why would I want to do that?
Or what some of your favorite music that you can't, you couldn't broadcast it, but you were listening to it in your ears while you were streaming?
No, I'd find that thoroughly distracting. Why would I want to do that? I don't really listen to music.
It's you focus on one project.
Well, I have the stream music in my ears when I'm streaming. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm more
listen to the radio
while
while watching the TV and reading a book.
No. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Who can do that, geez?
The Big Blue Frog says, Slack mentioned that chests were more laggy than barrels. Why is that? Is it because chests have an opening animation and they require a transparent block above them? Also, why do signs cause lag? My storage area is full of signs because I can't think of a better way to mark all my chests.
Foxy, I'll let you on this one.
I don't know why they cause it. I've no idea why. It's weird, like composters actively increase your frames per second slightly. Why? Why do chests cause such a massive drop in frames per second? Why do shulker boxes? Why do signs? Why are glow lines like death to a client?
Yeah.
Banned. That's what those are.
It just doesn't make any sense. I've no idea the Big Blue Frog, but it's always a good idea to be aware of them. I would imagine, obviously, entities cause more lag than blocks in general because entities have things going on. They're constantly being ticked, which means they're constantly looking for an update, whether that's to update their AI or to update the behavior to make sure that they're interacting with the world in the way that they should. And the more behaviors and the more AI they have, the more they've got to do, the more lag they cause. So entities with no AI are significantly less laggy than ones with AI. Also, like if you've got a whole bunch of chickens on one block in the chicken cooker, it's going to cause a lot more lag than it is if they're all separated, because they've all got to decide where they're going, like they're bouncing off each other and colliding, and all that's got to be calculated. So that makes sense. So blocks.
I think you might be onto something.
A chest is always looking to see if it's going to be connected to another chest. So I would wonder if a double chest would be less laggy than a single chest, and I have no idea. It's always looking to see if there's a block on top of it. So that could, like you say, have some sort of, and determine what type of block that is as well, because it has to determine, is it a slab? Is it a stair? Is it a piece of glass? Is it, can it open or can't it effectively? So yeah, that's probably got something to do with it. But like, and shulker boxes as well. Shulker boxes, they're really laggy, but then they've got whole animations and crazy things going on with them. So I genuinely don't know, but I would imagine it's to do with the amount of things each entity is doing. Now, one thing that actually brought up something that I didn't talk about in this week's news section. On one of the change logs, it mentioned that the bookcases had a block actor. So what a block actor is effectively a hidden entity that exists purely for a block. And that's what a tile entity is, effectively, like a chest and a shulker box and things that you can interact with that are blocks. So bookcases and chests and everything, basically, they're a block with an entity that's linked to them, and it's the entity that has the storage. It's the entity that has the ability to take items in from hoppers or have things removed from the hoppers. So it's like a combined block entity thing. So it's probably to do with that, I guess.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing would be the equivalent of when you get like 200 walls together, and the more walls you put in, it's checking for updates constantly every game tick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's it with the chest too, because you can have 10 or 15, it's not bad, but once you get a big storage room, it gets bad. Pending tick data, I bet.
Yeah. And then there's the whole, like, well, is that lag affecting the server, or is that lag affecting the client? Because chests are laggy, like glow signs are for the client, more than they are the server. So it's a bit of an odd one, isn't it?
Interesting one.
So is it just the rendering of chests? Is it because they're an awkward shape?
My guess is going to lean towards tick data, but
yeah. But tick data, no, it doesn't matter. There we go. Yeah. I can't do anymore.
We're going in circles here.
Yeah. Move on.
Hakuzo. It's been a while, but time to throw out a question. If you could change a current block in the game into a completely new block with new textures and functionality, what block and what block and what would it look like and or do?
Per blocks, literally anything else.
I second that.
Yeah. I don't want to change a block in the game. Just give me something new.
I was thinking about this as I read this question earlier, and I don't know how my mind wandered off it, but I was thinking about like per blocks, and I was thinking what types of blocks could it be changed into, and my brain ran across the idea of spawners, and then I thought, if you went to an end city and had just all of the walls with spawners, that would be awful. But then I thought, actually, why don't we have some end cities with a spawner in, like for like a shulker spawner or something like that, so that they're renewable? I know you can breed shulkers now, but obviously we've got precedent for that with bastions and things like that. It'd be interesting if we do get an update to see if we get some like new spawner thing in the end.
Oh, 1 second. Jesus.
Go on, Slack.
Can I take, instead of putting a spawn egg in there, can I put like a block in there and get like maybe 1 block a minute?
What type of block?
Any type. Like you put obsidian in there, you get 1 obsidian a minute. Diorite, you get 1 diorite a minute. Block farm.
That feels very...
Oh, it feels very modded. Very.
Yeah.
What feels modded? Sorry.
It's like saying instead of having a spawner with an entity in it, put a block in it, and then every minute it would spawn a new one of those blocks.
A block spawner.
Oh, yeah.
I get
what
stone.
about for your flower
Netherite
pots?
spawners.
Yeah, stone.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Ooh, clay. Yeah, down.
Clay. Yeah, there you
Double
go.
bookshelves.
Double bookshelves. Nailed
Here you
it.
go, Foxy. Here you go, Foxy. And the site. And the site.
That's the site. Yes. Now how you go. Yes. Yes. I want it. I need it.
Buckets of lava. Just bloop. Bloop. Mm-hmm. This is very modded. I like this. Can we have this?
Next
Jeez.
question. Not so blue sheep says, question for Foxy. How long does it take Microsoft to approve updates to marketplace content? A little background. The creator of my favorite texture pack had announced they've submitted the 1.19 texture updates to Microsoft. And I can't wait to use these textures for my builds. I was hoping you'd have some idea of how long Microsoft might need to scratch their heads over my mangrove before I get to see it on my barn. Thanks for taking the time to read my question and also for the awesome podcast. Thanks for being the voice of Bedrock Edition.
You're welcome. Wow. The voice of Bedrock Edition. I'll put that on my CV. Jeez.
Silky smooth voice.
Yeah.
Edition, right?
Nailed it.
So that is basically how long is a piece of string, because it totally depends. The marketplace goes through spates of being really busy to being quite quiet, particularly around Halloween, Christmas, and things like that, when people are producing a lot of packs, when the audience is going to be more active. They also take on waves of new partners regularly, which means that when they do that, then there's a whole bunch more content being pushed out, and then they've got more stuff to deal with. So that alone could mean something like a texture pack where the moderators have to go through every single texture and check that they're suitable, check that they're not too close to the vanilla textures, run a bunch of checks on them. That could itself could take 2, 4, 6 weeks, I guess. An update realistically should only take 2, but with how busy everything is, it could easily take 4 to 6. Pushing it even 8. But the thing that's more likely to take time is that the marketplace powers that be are very good at sending stuff back to you and saying that's not good enough or you need to change that. And there's a lot of rules that are supposedly documented somewhere that they seem to create from thin air half the time, that don't make any sense. And you'll get something sent back to you and you're like, oh, that's a rule? Right, okay, I need to change that. Oh, that's a rule? Right, okay, I need to change that. And for texture packs, it's really difficult because one of the reasons I don't ever want to make a resource pack for the marketplace is you have to do every single block in the game. You can't just put a partial resource pack out, block and item. So every texture in the game's got to be updated. It has to be significantly updated, and they actually use basically a piece of software that analyzes the blocks that you've put in or the text you put in, compare it to the Minecraft one to see if there's a significant enough change between them. And if that anything flags up, if even it's just one texture is too close to the vanilla ones, then it'll send it back to you and you've got to resubmit it and go through the whole process again. So even if you spell your title slightly wrong or if your title doesn't match the content that's inside you, it's crazy the amount of things they can send back for. So every time they do that, you're adding on potentially another week or 2 weeks. And what's worse is that they used to have a system in place you'd send some information or you'd send a pack or a skin pack or something to them and you would get a notification through a third-party application to tell you if it's been responded to, if there's any something back on that. But they got rid of that third-party application and they haven't got anything else in place. So now there's no way of getting an update to know. You have to literally log in every day and check to see if there's been any feedback on it. Which obviously a lot of people don't have time to just keep logging in and checking all the time. And especially if you've got loads and loads of packs listed, that's a lot of information to trawl through to see if there's any update to any of them. So it's a slow process. It's just really slow process. So I don't know how long it will take. It could be, if things are going really well, 2 weeks. If things are taking forever and there's lots of mistakes, or Mojang come back with all of these ideas and things that are wrong with it, then it could take months. So there you go.
Good deal.
Hope that helps.
Yes.
It's me, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is you still. Yep, still you.
DJ Chris has come back with some quiz questions, and I have the answers, but Jessie B and Slack Lizard don't.
Oh.
And there are 4 questions. Are you ready for this, guys?
Sure.
Now, are these factual questions or opinion questions?
I don't know. Well, we got questions last week, and they were wrong.
They were wrong.
The answers were wrong.
Yeah.
It turns out they wrote it. They didn't write it in the feedback channel, but I think it went in general discussion or something, that they were talking about the with the skeleton rather than the skeleton, which is why the heights didn't match up.
Oh,
So,
gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, question 1. Now, should we do this officially? Should we write this down, or shall I just ask you and you come up with the ideas and I'll tell you the answer and see who's right?
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 1. Who is bigger, Elvis Presley or Michael Jackson?
Like who sold more albums? Like, what do they mean
No
by
idea.
bigger?
Not a clue. Taller, fatter, you name it. You decide.
This is going to be preference.
Elvis, I guess.
I'm going to go Elvis. Yeah.
I would imagine it's probably on like record sales, but yeah, okay. You're
Record
picking
sales
Elvis.
is probably Michael Jackson, but I'm going to say Elvis felt bigger.
Okay, well, the answer was Michael Jackson, so you're both wrong.
There you go.
I call shenanigans.
Question 2. What is the biggest mob in Minecraft? And I think this is record sales as well.
The dragon.
Dragon, yep.
No, it is the giant zombie that Notch added for a small time period. It's still in the game, still in Java Edition.
No, it's not
Wow.
Bedrock. So he didn't specify.
Yeah,
Look,
shenanigans.
Bedrock is now, no. Bedrock is now Minecraft. Java is now Minecraft Java.
That's right. So,
So
DJ Quiz.
Chris is wrong on that one.
You should have specified. Yeah. Oh, man. Question 3. What is the smallest mob in Minecraft? And I'm pretty sure this is record sales too.
A baby turtle.
Yeah, I'm going to go baby turtle. Yeah.
No, I'm afraid you're both wrong. It's silverfish and endermites.
No.
No, that's Java. That's Java once again. It says Minecraft.
Yes.
No, you were both right. Baby turtles, 100%
Yeah.
of the smallest. DJ Chris, wrong. I love it when we get these questions. And then, I genuinely like this. Is it mean to like telling people they're wrong? I think so. But I don't care. I like it. Question 4. What is the rarest block in Minecraft?
Rarest.
That's going to come down personal preference.
Deep slate emerald ore.
Deep Slate Co.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I'm just going to Google something.
That's going to come down to preference, really. I mean,
How is it a preference? I'm thinking statistical.
okay. What's your favorite block that's annoying to get?
Oh, you
Calcite?
mean,
Okay, so now that's a pretty rare block. It's non-renewable, right? Is it more rare? We can make lava farms now. That's not so. You got an infinite source of that now.
I
You
guess.
got stone everywhere.
Okay. Yes.
The reason I want to bring this up is because I believe the answer again is wrong. But it was quite specific, and I wanted to check it out, but I can't find any reference to it. But the answer is ruby ore, which was in the game for
What?
1 day.
No.
And now
again.
rubies are technically in the game. There is a ruby texture in the texture files on Minecraft, and they are used in, I guess, the UI somewhere. But I can't find any reference to ruby ore ever being in the game. But on the Minecraft wiki, there is a picture of ruby ore and a ruby. So, I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe it was.
I'm
Rubies
flipping
were
tables
originally
over
planned
here.
to be added as Minecraft Java Edition 1.3 as currency for trading with villagers, but were abandoned in last minute in favour of emeralds due to the developer Dillabone being red-green colorblind and therefore having a hard time spotting the difference with redstone ore. So there you go.
Shenanigans.
I don't think
Shenanigans.
maybe it was in a snapshot.
Shenanigans. Try again, DJ Chris.
Yeah.
DJ Chris, you're wrong. Bobby Boucher.
Oh, you could use rubies in Minecraft Earth. That's where the texture's from then. You could use them to purchase build plates, boosts, mobs, and speed up crafting.
I mean, I guess that's pretty rare because Minecraft Earth is dead, so I guess that's the rarest block in Minecraft now.
Jeez.
So there we go. Thank you very much, DJ Chris, for all the wrong answers. We really appreciate it.
No,
but
I know
genuinely do. Please keep sending in questions that you clearly don't know the answers to because it's hilarious.
No, we're going to go back. We're going to go back. Remember early, there was dirt slabs.
No.
Yep.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. Dirt slabs. You know you want them.
When?
Oh, it was like one of the first versions of the game. I think
they
it was
were added
alpha.
on October the 22nd, 2009 in Survival Test 0.26-04. Oh, man. They were never fully added due to failing to fully dress the terrain, including cliffs, caves, and ravines. Oh, well.
Caves and cliffs. We didn't get our dirt
slabs. But if you want dirt slabs, you can make them using my handy placeable dirt layers add-on, which you can download from FoxyNoTail.com for free. I'll let you. Don't worry, I won't charge you this time. Unfortunately, though, what I will charge you for is next week's podcast, was we're opening up Patreon. So if you want to listen to the podcast every week, it'll cost you loads of money. So unsubscribe now if you're not interested.
Yeah, instead of your stream fee, get your podcast fee.
Wow.
No, I think the podcast will still be free. We just hope lots of people be generous. Jeez. Right, I haven't mentioned to anybody this week about how to send in questions, feedback, bug dates, and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
So I'll be complaining next week when we haven't got any. So if you would like to send us some feedback or a bug report or any wish list item or a question, then you can by emailing us at news@theminecraftupdate.com. Or you can fill out our handy feedback form, which is on our currently very ugly website, which will hopefully be a very nice one soon. Or you can join the Discord and make my life easy because it's loads easy to get it from there. However, I am thinking of adding a whole new, brand new form system to the website when it's done to make life even easier and have that built into a special system that generates the feedback forms for us each week so I don't have to faff about pulling everything out from everywhere. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would.
That would be fancy.
Yeah, I'm imagining I'll probably be down quite a few other rabbit holes before we ever get to that. Right, that's it for this week's podcast. All we got left to do is tell you what we're going to be up to this week, starting with Jesse, who's going to be playing Pokemon, remembering to teach Ethan his school stuff, and trying to make the car get out of the door.
Well, that, but also I am starting daily streams starting tomorrow until Christmas. So
wow,
that's going to be fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm excited. Wow.
So what about all these videos then? When are you going to have time to edit and get them out?
We'll see.
Next week's podcast, Jesse's like, I'm back to streaming only.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
what I might do, because obviously it's going to be difficult to get editing done, I might be doing more YouTube streams. So that is there for people.
Fancy. Yeah, there's my videos. Look, just watch what I did yesterday. Shut up moaning. It's a video, isn't it?
Exactly.
Just click on it. Yeah, that's my theory. Got loads more videos on my channel since I started streaming on my main channel. Works
Nailed
perfectly.
it.
What about you, Slack? What are you going to be doing?
Yes. I don't know. Videos will be when videos and streams will be when streams are. Look, Jen's over here. I could care less. You know, there's stuff. Yeah.
Well, for me, if I don't have another week like this week, then I should be streaming 4 times a week and putting videos out on Saturday. But who knows at this rate? Anything could happen. And that's it. All I got left to say is the same thing I say at the end of every single podcast that we do. And that's, if you really enjoy Pokemon podcasts, you should definitely listen to this one. And on that note, it's time to go.
Yeah.
I will
Goodbye.
never play Pokemon.
Bye.
Wow.
Next week,
Slack
how's your
hates
week, Slack?
Pokemon
Well, I
even more
spent
than
it
me.
playing Pokemon. Yeah. Good talk.
Bye,
y'all.
guys.
Good talk.
Bye.
Bye.